Haunt is a 2019 film. It is a slasher horror film written by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, the writers of A Quiet Place. I think they directed it too. This is about a group of friends that go to an extreme haunted house, and however, when they get there, they find out that the actors are a lot more violent than they intend and have sinister intentions for them. So this movie is okay. It's got a very nasty sort of streak to it. It reminded me of like the torture porn sort of horror movies like Hostel or Saw. But I feel like this movie has a decent concept, but it really stretches it. It's really padding for time throughout most of the film. Like we actually have to watch them go through a horror haunted house for about half an hour before anything really happens. And the movie's main character is Harper. She's a young woman who's got a stalker, abusive boyfriend, and she's scared all the time. And they tried to weave in some sort of past trauma character development angle with her, but I felt like it didn't really work at all. There's some side characters that are a little bit, they have their distinct personalities, but I don't remember any of their names. And there is one good performance from one of the killers. I think his name's Ghostface, maybe? All of the killers wear a mask, and they're called that. So there's Devil Mask, Witch Mask, Ghost, face or whatever. There's like several different killers. You find out who they are at the end. The movie's ending is super rushed and weird. Like the sort of like aftermath of the haunted attraction. The movie just also is really inconsistent in tone. They'll be fighting to the death one moment, and then they won't pick up guns or weapons that they've knocked down from the antagonists, or antagonists will like hype themselves up and then die immediately, or they'll spend a lot of time introducing a new element to add something into the mix, and then that payoff gets thrown out the window immediately. So the movie's all over the place in terms of just like pacing and tone and thrills, and even though it's competent enough, I just I felt like it could have been a lot better with maybe another pass in the screenwriting department. They made this movie after A Quiet Place, so this was kind of like their carte blanche moment where, since A Quiet Place was a big hit, they're allowed to do whatever they want, and they chose to do this one, and it wasn't that good. So Haunt is a very mean and brutal horror slasher thriller, but it definitely could have been better in many ways. There's even I think one of the characters has a pretty bad injury, but they forget about it, and they don't reference it again. I think both of them. So I give Haunt a 4 out of 10.